The Bears are back in first place. What up, guys? Swift here, talking everything Chicago Bears with daily videos. Let's get right into it. After Kirk Cousins tossed 3 interceptions and the Vikings got beat down 24-7 in Philly last night, we now have a four-way tie for first place in the NFC North. All four teams have had one good showing and one game where they got beat down. This is how it goes in the NFL sometimes. We got punched in the mouth Sunday night, but it's a long season. Should any of us be happy about what happened in Green Bay? Not for a second. But my main point is to provide optimism during the darkest times. These are the hardest videos to make. I hate losing. It makes me sick. Our performance was embarrassing, but it doesn't mean the season is over or that this regime sucks or that Justin Fields is a bust. It was one game. It happens all the time in the NFL. Bottom line, I had this typed up last night, but my guy James took the words right out of my mouth. If you would have asked any fan before the season if they would have taken a 1-1 start and a tie for first place in the NFC North after the first 2 weeks versus the 49ers and Packers, we all would have taken that. When the schedule came out earlier in the offseason, I made a video where I talked about each game. I mentioned specifically how hard our first 2 games will be, especially for a new regime. I mentioned I thought we could beat the 49ers, but marked both games as losses. So even having us go 0-2, I still picked us to win 9 games. I spoke all offseason that we have a range from about 6 to 10 wins. We aren't going to beat everyone. We have a very young team. We don't have a lot of high-priced Pro Bowlers, and we'll have the most cap space in the NFL next season with all of our draft picks. This year is all about the foundation. Even in that loss, we still laid some of the foundation with how good we ran the ball. It wasn't pretty, and it's actually a bit baffling how long Getsy went without Kari Blasingame in the game after that first touchdown drive. A couple of things to remember, though, in a week like this. We're trying to lay the foundation to be a championship caliber team. The Green Bay Packers are already a championship caliber team that laid that foundation years ago. We shouldn't expect to beat teams like that, especially handedly. We were 10-point underdogs for a reason. But I also understand that Sunday's passing offense was pathetic. We need to be better. Getsy needs to be better. Fields needs to be better, and our wide receivers need to be better. But it's too early to jump to conclusions. We faced so much talent on the defense in the last 2 weeks, and we weren't nearly as bad as people are acting like. We are 1-1 and tied for first place after playing 2 playoff teams to open the season. The schedule now gets a lot easier. It's just simply too early to be throwing in a towel on the season. It doesn't mean you have to be happy with the performance against the Packers, but let's give this team a little time to establish the foundation a bit. Then they can build onto that foundation. Obviously, we still want to see more passes and better use of the play action, but part of that was the Packers were ready for every pass play called. This was a case where we may have been outcoached a little bit. The Packers were ready for the rollouts and the bootlegs, and were all over everything we tried to do in the passing game. They didn't have an answer for David Montgomery, though, and that is the base of our foundation that is being laid. Running right down the throat of the defense. I'm still waiting for the All-22 to drop, and I'm rewatching the condensed game. I think the biggest thing to focus on are that we are 1-1, tied for first place in the division, and have a pretty manageable schedule, especially the next 10 weeks. We need to continue laying the foundation and getting better each week. I will be breaking down the All-22 very soon and even offering up some grades. Stay tuned, guys. Hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.